Hey there, Harrier, and today I have a video on Guardian Druid gearing, and this can be used for Boomkins, Resto Druids, any other class for the most part. Alright, so jumping straight into it, we have this spreadsheet made by a Fool. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but it's a really nice spreadsheet which includes gear from Raid, Mythic Plus, Crafted, so you can kind of check all of that here, and you can make a copy of the spreadsheet. I'll have the link down below. For the raid gear, you have all the pieces. As you can see, everything is pretty much sorted by cloth, leather, mail, plates, and then you got your weapons, trinkets. So it's very nice. On the right side, there should be a... There it is. Here's the legend, and it tells you, for the most part, what these symbols mean in terms of stats. So say, for example, in the leather section, we have Violent Grave Mask. It is Mastery. It has more Mastery than Verse by about, not by about, but more than 65%, as you can see down here. And then you have some of these that only have one arrow, and that's 55 to 65. Some are about equivalent, and some are actually equal. The equal ones are usually on crafted gear. And then the other nice thing is if you click on these, you can kind of click on the items and just take a look at it on Wowhead. Off to the right, you can see which bosses it drops from. For any of the newer players, if you are interested in your stats, you can take a look at here. However, I would be careful in trusting this, mainly because stat values can change depending on raid/M+ for certain classes. Going into the Mythic Plus tab, same thing again. You can see all the items, all the stats, and where the items drop from. There's even a nice little chart showing you what I guess I forgot what these were called, but he labeled it as item track. So what item track they drop at. So at, what dungeon level is this? 17. You get Hero 1, dungeon level 15, Champion 4. And keep in mind, these can all be upgraded up to 8. So Hero 1 can be upgraded to Hero 8. You just need, your Dragon Crest, or not Dragon Crest, Shadow Flame Crest to upgrade all of them. For this section, unfortunately, there's no tab to go to the item on Wowhead. However, I have compiled my own little spreadsheet for specifically Guardian Druid, and I probably will do this as well for Boomkin, for any Boomkin people who are interested, maybe Resto as well. For the most part, this tier, it's looking like the tier pieces, and keep in mind this is all for M+, okay? This is all for M+. Keep in mind, we are using Haste Verse for the most part. I have opted to make hands because on hands, the tier set is Mastery Crit, as you can see over here. My 4 set will most likely be from the other 4 pieces because they have either Versed or Haste on them for the most part. The embellishments I'll probably opt to use as of right now are going to be the Toxified Patch with... Where is it? Slimy Expulsion Boots right here. These other items, so orange usually means it's unique, legend, like the rare drops, and crafted items. Not all crafted items, but these are some of the more unique crafted items which have embellishments already on them. You cannot craft an embellishment on these. These already have effects on them. Okay, so for the BiS list, this is for the most part, your end game gear. this is what you are kind of aiming for. For the early dungeon gear, this is probably something you're grinding out, the first 3-4 weeks of the tier. This is primarily just dungeon gear. You obviously, if you have Seal of Durinus Chosen from Season 1, you got lucky and you were able to obtain that, by all means use that. You might want to keep on your Flaring Cal for the time being. So if that's the case, you would probably be using tier gloves. For the mid to late tier, we have some crafts mixed in, some of the rare things mixed in, but for the most part, I tried to keep some of the rare items left out. As you can see here, the only rare one that is in this list is the slimy expulsion boots, which are a craft. I have 3 trinkets included in case you want to check out more, but do be aware that I have not been able to test all the trinkets. So as far as the trinkets go, I'm almost certain these will change, specifically even the dungeon ones. This Heart of Thunder and Talisman of the Crag Shaper. Talisman is more of a defensive trinket. Heart of Thunder is an offensive one, but I'm not entirely sure how good this one really is. A lot of these will depend on procs per minute. As far as rings go, you may be replacing the Onyx Amulet and Seal of Durinus Chosen once you get the max item level rings. That I'm not entirely sure yet. Chances are once the sims get a little bit better, you'll be able to check them out mid-tier and then you'll be able to decide then. But as of right now, the Onyx Amulet is probably one of your BiS rings. Same for Seal of Durinus Chosen. In the very last column, we have some of the items that I do want to test out that I don't think there's much info on yet. Specifically, the Spore Colony Shoulder Guards. These are new. As you can see, it applies stacks of spores. This should be pretty good with Guardian Druid in M+, depending on how often the stacks do apply. But almost every single one of your abilities is, for the most part, some kind of cleave, AoE. You got swipes, thrashes, your Moonfire with Galactic Guardian applies multiple. Running Raise, also AoE. You should have plenty of ways to apply these stacks. Last thing to keep in mind is if you do want to kind of aim for that 30% verse haste again, with the pieces as of right now, it might be a little bit difficult specifically because of the ring BiS slots, where Onyx Amulet has 0 stats and Seal of Durinus Chosen has super high verse, low crit. You may want to swap out Seal of Durinus Chosen for a verse haste ring. Another thing to keep in mind, you may want to also take a look into crafting an elemental lariat once you have all your sockets. Alright, that's about it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.